Hey everyone. All right, so I'm going live. We're not doing makeup Monday, but and Jules is at her friend's house, or she's going to see if her friend can play. So we'll see if she shows up during this live. But I just wanted to step out and share some little tidbits of information with you guys. Um, just little things I'm learning along the way. So if it helps somebody, great. And if not you, maybe you can share it with somebody else. So here's where we are on this marvelous Monday. So today I wanted to talk about attitude, altitude, fuel, mindset, finances, and hope. I want to share a picture with y'all. And I know I've shared a lot of pictures lately, but you guys are just going to have to bear with me. I have a sense of pride now that was missing for so long, and I just enjoy putting that out there just to provide hope for others, because I know there's a lot of people who have been through what I've been through. And if I can help them, more power to me, right? So I want to share a picture with y'all. Let me get it pulled up here. Okay, so I was going through my past year of pictures looking for something for my mom yesterday, and I came across this photo, and I shared it last night on Facebook, and I said I was just mortified at the thought of posting this picture last year, and it hasn't even been a full year. And I went into a little further to explain that I love that picture now because I love that person in the picture, just like I love the person in the current pictures. And a lot of that has been something that I've worked through on this journey. So I want to share this picture with y'all. This is me. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. So that's me, and that's the actual like regular picture. And that was a little under a year ago. I was at the pumpkin patch with my kiddos, and I really wanted to capture the moment with all of us in it, but I was just too doggone frustrated with the way I felt and the way I looked, and I was embarrassed, so I didn't share it. And then next to that, you see me today. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm sure enjoying where I'm at. And it's so much more than the weight. So all along this journey, I just want to do everything I can to share my experience just for the purpose of helping others. So, hey, Joe. Hey, Angie, Jody, Kenneth, Jessica. Hey, darling daughter, and Dee Dee. All right. So desperate people who find hope become passionate people who deliver at hope. And so I think that's what you're seeing in me right now. Is a year ago, I was desperate. And I was looking for anything and everything that would work. I had a thyroid issue I had corrected, and the weight just wasn't going to come off. So how do I get that weight off? And I was looking for anything and everything. Everything I had done before wasn't working. And this just fell into my lap. And so I was desperate. But I had zero hope. And it literally just fell into my lap. So desperate people who find hope, or maybe that hope falls into their lap, become passionate people who deliver hope. And so that's where I am right now in my journey. Is I am so passionate about the changes I've seen in my life that I want to spread it throughout the world and just help anybody who wants to be helped, because it's just done more for me than I could have ever even thought imaginable. Through learning to change my habits, I have, and I've done this, I've been changing my habits along the way so that this is the final time that I ever have to lose this weight. And through learning to do that, I have a freedom in my life now like never before. And for me, and really for everyone, and what I've learned in this is that it's not about the food. You know, I know everyone's a foodie these days, and there's so many ways to enjoy food, and everything we do involves food and is around food. But on this journey, even though I'm enjoying the food, I'm eating 6 times a day. I love everything I eat. I look forward to it. I'm never hungry. If I'm not eating, I'm drinking my water, and then it's time to eat again. So it's been great. It's not about the food. It's not a diet. This whole thing has been about health. And health isn't about my body and my hunger and my blood work. Health is so much more. It's about how I feel. It's about being there for my kids. It's about a healthy body, this vessel that I walk around in, but also about a healthy mind. And that's what's been so encouraging along this journey, is my mindset has been slowly shifting to an even more positive mindset. And I'm starting to feel like my old spark plug self again, like a long, 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 long time ago. And even better than that. So it's health is the body, the mind, and the money, the finances. If you really, really look at it, it's all of those. And I want you to have what I have if you want it. So I'm going to keep sharing. This system, there was an analogy they did in a training that I thought really, really made it simple for everyone. We're all full of excuses. Oh, this isn't working, or that's not working. Whatever it is you're doing in your life, whether it be at work or at home, whether it be health related, food related, maybe you're, trying something for your kids. Who knows? Whatever it is you're doing, you've seen other people have success. So you know that it's a proven system, right? But you're not having success. Well, with this system, you have to look at it like a water hose. When you have a water hose and it's a good solid water hose, you know that water flows through it. Water does come out the end. So you have a water hose, you turn on the water flows through it, and it comes out the end. If water's not coming out of the end of that hose, what do? Well, like most people, you go and you check for kinks, right? So that's what the coach does in this journey. We are alongside you the entire way. My coach has been phenomenal. I love you, Vicki. And we help with the kinks. And that's all it is. A little kink here, a little kink there. We address them, and that water is flowing. So it's a super simple system. And I think that analogy really helped me to kind of understand how simple it is. We overanalyze, we overcomplicate things, but it's real, real simple. You do it, and it works. You turn on the water comes out the end. If it's not coming out the end, then you fix the kink. So I think that relates a lot to our journeys with weight loss. So attitude determines your altitude. A lot of us have heard that throughout our lives. And if you haven't, then, well, I'm telling you now, so you're hearing it for the first time. But attitude determines how high you go in whatever it is that you're doing, right? So you have a great attitude, the chances are you're going to do much better. Well, the fuel and the finances that are surrounding your situation, the fuel you're putting into your body, and the finances that are encompassing your world, allowing you to live hard or live well, those affect your attitude. So what you're putting into your body and your money situation, those affect your attitude. And your attitude affects your altitude. So that affects how high you go. That affects your success. And I know this all too well. I have fought hard and hard and hard every month of my life because I've always been in a sales position at work in insurance. It's the thrill of hitting goals, I guess. It's the thrill of helping people. There's so many things that encompass that, but that'll be a different live. I truly love my job, and I truly love the company that I represent, and I truly love my boss. I have the best of the best situation right now with just a super amazing human that is my boss and my friend. Him, his family, just amazing. And then the gentleman I work with as well, who is like family. So I have these two amazing people that I work with that just, it's not a job. It's a family away from home. And I just love what I do. I've been doing it since 1991, and I feel like I've kind of perfected it. I'm still learning along the way, so I'm always perfecting it. But every month, because of the position I'm in, and because I'm just me, I'm not a two-person household with another income. It's just me. Every month, it's all about making the ends meet, paying my bills. And so that is my primary budget. and all of my bills need to be paid with that job, right? So every month it's always been, am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? And how am I going to borrow from next month to pay for this month, or whatever, whatever, whatever. So sometimes I've been ahead of the game, sometimes I've been behind the game, but it's always been a struggle and it's always been a fight. But I've had to keep my attitude where it needs to be so that I can be successful. So what I'm telling you is your attitude determines your altitude. And if you're fueling yourself incorrectly and you're not putting the right gas in your body, then it's going to make it that much harder. And I know that anytime that I've been eating off plan, I've not been healthy, I've not been in a good place with my fuel, then it's made it twice as hard to achieve what I need to for my family at work. And that feeds into my attitude. So it becomes a cycle. So you're not fueling yourself well, you have a bad attitude or a more frustrating attitude, and then you're not achieving as much as you could with a better attitude. So then the finances are a struggle, and it just becomes this cycle that goes around and around, and you may just be kicking butt every single month, just working hard, working long hours and doing your absolute best in your mind, but you're not fueling yourself correctly. So if you're not fueling yourself, then that's affecting your attitude, which is affecting your altitude, which is affecting your finances. So it all goes hand in hand. So I really want you to think about the environment that you are creating around you. When you know somebody who is healthy and you know somebody who is living an abundant life, they're not struggling financially, then that person, unless they're just a jerk, is truly radiating a positive environment. But when you see that person who is struggling financially or who is not fueling themselves correctly, they're kind of trapped in a cycle and they can't get themselves out, then you're seeing them radiate an environment of frustration. And so ask yourself, are you radiating frustration? Are you radiating gratitude? Are you radiating struggle and strife, or are you radiating happiness? And what do you want to radiate? When people think of you, what do you want them to think about? Because it's okay to struggle, but that struggle is your choice. And a lot of people don't realize that. So when you're going through things in life, it's 100% okay to feel that emotion. I'm one of the most emotional people there are in the world. In fact, not long ago, my boss said to me, "You're quite emotional right now." And I was like, did he just say that to me? Because that usually is what sets me off. But he was right. I was being emotional. This was last year. And it's okay to feel that emotion, and it's okay to react with emotion. But when you operate outside of emotion and you operate with intention, then that's actually what leads you towards your goals. So I knew, this is just a small little example, I knew that I was going to be outside of my warranty time on my new truck, my old new truck, the last truck I had, Bo, my silver one. Loved that truck. And so I said, okay, so I'm going to have to worry about, things going wrong, and we just have the one vehicle. So I really couldn't have that happen. I need to get my kids to school. I need to get to work. I have things to do. So I knew I was going to be operating outside of that warranty. And I said, I'd really like to be inside of a warranty when it comes to, if I'm going to have a car payment, I want to have a warranty. Right. So since then I've learned a whole lot about warranties. So that's a topic for another time, but I needed to make sure that I put myself in a good place. And so I went truck shopping, and I told the truck salesman, I said, listen, I am not going to make this decision out of emotion. And he probably laughed inside. He probably laughed really hard. Look at this little blonde lady coming in here telling me she's not going to get emotional. She's got kids running around. She's going to get emotional. But I didn't. I kept emotion out of the entire process, and it was a frustrating process, 3 days long. And I was ready to walk out of there with my same truck. So I didn't, though. I ended up with a really great new truck, and it's under warranty, and I'm really, really happy with everything, and I'm not paying any more than I was, and it's brand new, and I love it. And this one's named Cleopatra. So anyways, that's choosing to operate out of intention and not emotion. So we have that choice. So the more you learn to do this, the more that you can lead yourself well. And if you're leading yourself well, then you're leading others well. And that could be your kids, that could be, your friends and your friendships, and that could also be in your family life. So, and your work life. So, if you want to be a leader, which I think we all want to lead by example with different things we have going on in life, then lead yourself well and act with intention rather than out of emotion. And it took me 45 years to figure that out, y'all. 45 years. So, let's see, I've got some little notes here, so let me check my notes. Okay, so if you're not accomplishing goals, then you are resisting structure. And you're the obstacle, but you are also the way. So you get to choose that path. A lot of us fight structure. I know I did with this lifelong transformation system that I'm going through. I fought the structure in the beginning so very much. My coach was like, do this, do this, do this, do this. Very, very simple things, but I knew more, in my 45 years, I knew more. And that's the Aries in me. And I resisted it. I resisted a lot of it. And it made things harder for me, but still pretty simple, but still harder than it could have been. And I've learned that in the last few months as I've done everything she tells me to do. And when I stay in contact with her and I do what she says, because this is a proven system that has been around for years and years and years, I get the results. They're even easier to achieve than before. So don't fight structure. You are the obstacle, but you are also the way. So you choose that path, and partner with your future self. A lot of us don't dream anymore. If we do, it's a pipe dream. We don't ever plan on it actually becoming a reality. It just seems so far off in the distance that, you see the tunnel, but you do not even see the light, right? So partner with your future self. Really sit and take some time, whether it's 5 minutes before bed or 5 minutes when you wake up, whether you're a morning person, Jessica, that's my daughter, or not, because I am a morning person now and I didn't used to be. Take those minutes with yourself and partner with your future self. Really think about who you want to be. Where do you see yourself in a year? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Who do you want that to be? I knew that I wanted to live a life of, and I didn't really know the terminology at the time, but I wanted to live a life of abundance. I kept saying I want to live a limitless life. And it's not about wanting stuff. It's about having the option, having the possibilities available to you to make choices that rather than having that chosen for you. When you have the option, then you're living a life of abundance. And I can make choices for my children and for myself much better now than I could before when I was living a very limited and a very tight, hidden life where I just wasn't happy. I wasn't fueling myself correctly. And I just didn't have all the tools necessary to be where I am today. Thankfully, the system flew into my lap and here we are. So you're going to hear more and more and more about that as much as you want. So if you're not accomplishing goals, you are resisting structure. So definitely be open to the structure. Don't be the obstacle, be the path and be the way and choose your path and partner with your future self. You will be amazed at what that will do for you. A lot of things that hold us back are fears, and fears are kind of a waste because they're what ifs that, may never happen. And, facing those fears is huge. So I challenge everybody to step outside of your comfort zone and face your fears. Even if that just means barely sticking your little pinky toe outside of the comfort zone, because when you do, there is an entire abundant world waiting for you where you have choices and possibilities beyond anything you could ever imagine. I'm living it now and I'm continuing to move in that direction. And I feel so good about it because I can truly enjoy every aspect of my life. And that's huge. So don't let your fears allow you to slam the door on the abundant life that God already has for you. Think about that. Don't let those fears slam the door on that abundant life, those possibilities that God already has for you. He already has them planned for you. I mean, it's been manifesting for a long, long time within me, but it's finally starting to pour out. And I see your value. I see your value so, so much. So much. And I just want to pour into you for no other reason than to lift you and to hold hands with you and to walk with you as you open up to the possibilities, because there's so much more out there. And you really just have no idea until you stop limiting yourself and you focus on how to address that attitude and how to address how high you're going to go, the altitude, and how you're going to fuel that and how you're going to think about things and what kind of finances are limiting you now and what kind of finances could be the path. I mean, it's unbelievable the hope that is there. And if you can see that hope, then you can achieve it. And then you can be that passionate person who is spreading hope. You can be that person who has found it and wants to spread it. So I appreciate everybody tuning in, whoever did. And, feel free to share this with anybody who is on your heart, on your mind. Maybe you know someone who's struggling from not fueling themselves correctly. Maybe you know someone who's struggling financially. And maybe you know somebody who is just a negative Nancy and they need a mindset shift, because this has done everything for me. It's done all of those. And it's my kids don't realize it, or maybe they do, but it's kind of trickling off into them. They're doing and saying things like never before. So y'all watch out. These girls are achievers. So anyways, y'all have a marvelous Monday night. Thanks for tuning in. Mwah.